So obviously, the NBA Finals, the Milwaukee Bucks defeated the Phoenix Suns in 6 games in the 2021 NBA Finals, and Giannis Antetokounmpo was named the NBA Finals MVP. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys out here. If you would have told me at the start of the season that the Milwaukee Bucks would beat the Phoenix Suns in the 2021 NBA Finals, I would look at you like you were crazy. But I gotta say, this NBA season has been pretty wild. There's been a lot of surprises. It was a great season overall. I do think the 2021 NBA Finals was a success. The first 2 games weren't, the first 3 games weren't necessarily all that competitive. But after game 3, it was a very competitive series. Both teams were pretty evenly matched. I actually picked the Phoenix Suns to win the NBA Finals in 6 games. So let's talk about why I was wrong. What happened? A lot of people are saying the Phoenix Suns blew it. Chris Paul deserves a whole lot of blame. And I can understand why people are saying those things. I'm not letting Chris Paul off the hook because I think he played a pretty solid series, but it wasn't the type of series that I felt that he was capable of having. I felt that he could have played better, but the reality is, in my opinion, based on what I watched, this was more about what Milwaukee was doing rather than what Phoenix didn't do. Of course, you can always look back and say, yeah, Phoenix could have done this, that, and the other better, but Milwaukee, to me, just looked like the better team. Whether they are the better team, we can debate that or not, but I think that this was about Milwaukee and the adjustments they made. Overall, I think the Suns actually put together a really good fight in these NBA Finals. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead early in the series. They were getting open shots for the most part in most games. Devin Booker was playing well. Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, he had his ups and downs, but he had his moments as well. And I felt that in Game 4 and in Game 5, the 2 really big pivotal turning points of the series, I felt Phoenix actually played overall a pretty good game. But the thing is, Milwaukee's best punch was not able to be matched by the Phoenix Suns. I think that Milwaukee's size and overall length really bothered the Phoenix Suns. And I said heading into the series that there is potential for Milwaukee's size and length, especially on defense, to bother the Phoenix Suns. I felt that they had very little answers for Giannis down low. I felt Giannis was going to play pretty well in this series. Phoenix really didn't have a whole lot of, guys down low outside of DeAndre Ayton to really bang with Giannis. Crazy enough, Dario Saric actually was a huge loss for the Phoenix Suns. I know that he's not a big name player, but they could have used an extra body definitely to, mix things up down there. But the thing about Milwaukee is when they're also hitting perimeter shots along with, punishing you down low in the paint, then it's pretty much over. If they're hitting their perimeter shots, there's really nothing you can really do, and that's what Milwaukee was doing. They were hitting perimeter shots. Giannis and the Bucks were doing their things down low in the paint, and I had to give Mike Budenholzer a lot of credit because I didn't think Mike Budenholzer could make the necessary adjustments to win the series, and he was able to make the necessary adjustments. He was the better coach between him and Monty Williams. I felt that Mike Budenholzer coached an excellent NBA Finals. He got those guys ready to play. And Giannis obviously taking home the NBA Finals MVP. It was well-deserved. He averaged 35 points per game during the series, had 13 rebounds per game, 5 assists, almost 2 blocks a game, and he also averaged over a steal per game. He was excellent. It was an all-time great performance. And his 50-point game in game number 6 of the NBA Finals was one of the best playoff performances, quite frankly, I've ever seen. This was an all-time great series from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He deserves a lot of credit. I'll talk about him a little bit later in the show once again because there's a lot to talk about with Giannis, but he was an all-time great player in this series. He stepped it up, and now people really can't question Giannis that much anymore. They can talk about his flaws all they want, but now they must put the label NBA champion and NBA Finals MVP by his side because no matter what people say, Giannis is still a champion. We cannot take that away from him. We'll never be able to. He was phenomenal. But also, you look at Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton hit a lot of big shots down the stretch. Had a 40-point game, and I believe game number 4, that really, turned things around for the Bucks and were able to allow them to tie up the series. Chris Middleton throughout the playoffs was hitting tough shot after tough shot. He had his ups and downs, but he was there for Milwaukee when it mattered most. And also Jrue Holiday. I want to point out 2 players that were key for the Milwaukee Bucks season. Jrue Holiday and PJ Tucker. 2 guys that were available in the offseason. Milwaukee traded for both of them, and they were huge components to this team because they fit the culture of the Milwaukee Bucks. Jrue Holiday is this, guy that's been doubted pretty much throughout his entire career. He's this hard-nosed defender, and his defense down the stretch in these playoffs was really a big key difference for the Milwaukee Bucks. Same thing with PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker was not brought in to play pretty basketball for the Milwaukee Bucks. He was brought in to play great defense, bring veteran leadership, and hit corner threes occasionally if you can, And he was able to do that. He was a star in his role. And those 2 key moves really are what propelled Milwaukee to getting to the next level. They didn't have a guy like Jrue Holiday last year in the playoffs. That was a very good defensive point guard that can get you 15 to 20 points on any given night if he, is on his A game, And also they didn't have a guy like PJ Tucker to really, man that locker room and set the tone for guys. So overall, I have to give the Milwaukee Bucks organization a ton of credit. This is the first NBA championship Milwaukee has won in over 50 years, and I got to give them a lot of credit. Phoenix, they put together a great fight, but overall, I just think that Milwaukee overwhelmed them. Milwaukee looked like the better team, and once Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks decided to put their foot down, it was pretty much over. And congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks. Their fan base definitely deserves it, and I'm happy for Giannis Antetokounmpo especially. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.